Hello everyone, and welcome back to my chatty, sassy channel here on YouTube, where we talk about all things luxury, be it luxury travel, luxury fashion, or life's luxuries in general. Today I have my husband Blake with me, and we are talking about our love bracelets that we got in New York in August. And so we're just talking about, now that we've had them for a few months, what our thoughts have been on them, things that we didn't expect, things that were better or worse than we expected, wear and tear. All of that we're going to be getting into today, and so I say we just jump right into it.
What else will we do? Sure.
Talk us through what it was like when we went to the store, looking at the love bracelets, the options that they gave you.
Sure. We met Drew. If you're thinking about it, go try one on. We picked out our bracelets. Very easy. They've got brushed finish. Regular finish, such as it is nice. It's nearly a mirror. I can see myself in it at times. It's of course bent, so now Victoria's trying to look at hers to see if she can see herself in it. She's behind the camera. They've got brushed, regular, and brushed is for fools. Brushed means that let's pretend for a minute that this is a gold bar right here, right? Okay. If it's brushed finish, it's been brushed with something abrasive that scratched it all in one direction over and over again. And then it has a brushed finish that the grain runs this way. As soon as you do anything with it, dang it, scratch it in some other direction, that's immediately visible, and your eye is drawn to it because it is outside of the pattern. So now the only way to fix that, if you want to, is you have to have it brushed again, all in the same pattern. So you're just scratching the bejesus out of it in one direction. That's that. Where regular, just regular polished finish like I've got, you just polish it in any direction, and you're done. And then they've, of course, got 3 different picks for gold content. You've got white gold, rose gold, regular, yellow gold. We picked the yellow. Whenever we looked at them, I just liked it with my skin tone, and it was something different. And you were getting the yellow gold. You would be surprised how often my decisions revolve around you. You picked the, what's it called? The smaller.
I got the, I think it's called the small or the thin. I don't remember what the name is.
The small, the thin, what have you. Mine is the regular classic, regular band size.
So what have you thought as a guy of wearing a bracelet? Because you don't typically wear a lot of jewelry. No,
I really liked it actually. It helps that it's not easy to take off, or else I might have. Notwithstanding the metaphorical significance, of course, but I can't take it off, so that helps. But no, I like it a lot. It's nice. It's very comfortable actually as well. The weight's good, in that there's almost nothing to it, but there's enough weight to make you feel like it's not going to just break itself or you're going to bash it into something. It's screwed on. I do like almost reflexively like check it. It's in 2 parts, at least mine is, and I can do this and press it together, and if I hear any clicking or anything like that, I'll know that it's loose. I can feel if there's play in between the seams on either side, and there's not. But I can also check and see, is my screw lined up with the rest of the screws that have been machined in, and they all are. They're in line. Everything's fine. I guess my fear is like losing a screw or something like that, because we've met someone that had lost a screw. I don't know if they were just careless or it had somehow come loose, but I don't work a job where I'm like on vibrating machinery all day long. If I was, I would be more afraid, because a screw could work its way out.
How is it held up as far as like scratching, things like that?
I mean, I wouldn't actually say I've scratched it that much as it's just sort of like teensy tiny little regular scratches you get from just wearing something. I bet if I took a polishing cloth to this for like 3 or 4 minutes, it would be 90% back to original. And if I went any longer, I'd get really close to original. I have just the smallest of like dings on an edge where I've really hit something really hard. And every time I'm like, oh man, and I look at it, it's absolutely fine. And it's way less damage, if any damage at all, than I was expecting. At first, you kind of want to baby it. Now, not at all. Almost. I'm not, looking to like hook it on something and break it to bits. I really hate that. I'd be pretty mad at myself. But sleeping at first, I sleep with my arms up here a lot of the time, and so my headboard is right here. And if I, knocked into my headboard, like, oh, but headboard's wood. This is gold. Gold's gonna beat the wood every day. You tell me, like, if you can see it with the camera, you can see it. I could certainly use like a clean. But that's the thing, it's on you all the time. So it's on you in the shower, it's on you when you're sleeping. It's on you all the time, everything you do. And so I've always been like really careful. Every day, multiple times a day, I check to make sure that my screws are still on straight. They're flathead single slot screws, so you can tell. I keep mine in line with the rest of the screws, the pattern. And if it's in line, then I know it's all just fine. But I can also, it's two pieces, mine is. Here and here is where it breaks into two loops, well, arcs, I guess. And I can just press here and tell if it's loose or not, and it's never actually really been loose.
Well, and that's sort of the biggest difference, I think, between your love bracelet and mine.
Yours is hinged.
Mine is hinged because I have the small, thin version of the love bracelet. And so mine just has one screw here, and then the other side is a hinge. His actually comes apart into two different pieces.
If you can see the lug underneath, that's where the screw is actually set. And I have another one on the other side hemispherically. The thing about this is actually, like, let's pretend you were just lost in the desert and came across, a Bedouin tribe. Like, you could trade a screw for your life. Like, you're carrying something of significant value just materially on you, for better or for worse. But I mean, you could take a screw out. If you're able to convince them, hey, this is what I say it is, you go a ways. Things. So.
All right. So, what was something that you weren't expecting to think about, to have to get used to when it came to wearing the love bracelet?
I guess the lugs. I really didn't expect, I didn't know how the closures really worked too well. I knew that they were screw-on, but I didn't know if they extended past the body of the bracelet or not. And as it turns out, they do. They extend like an entire, like...
well past.
Yeah, the width of the bracelet. I didn't expect to get used to it so quickly, I guess. It hasn't bothered me a bit. The closest it's really come to bothering me is whenever I, get ready to take a shower or something, I just have a strange momentary feeling that I haven't, taken everything off. That's faded now. We've been wearing them how long? It's been since August. It's November.
Months?
It's November now.
3 months.
Yeah, 3 months. I would, if I took it off now, I bet it would feel really weird. Like I would feel like I was forgetting something all day if I took it off now, I bet. So I really don't want to. Also, if you've ever thought it would be uncomfortable, it's really not, because anytime you press on this, it's already flat against you, and anything you touch with your body, it's also flat against. It really doesn't feel any one way or the other, at least for me.
Yeah.
I end up wearing it up here a lot, is where it usually settles, and what's funny is that the lugs keep it in place on my skin, and that's that. They don't dig in or feel uncomfortable or anything, but whenever I move it, I do notice they've left an imprint every once in a while, but that doesn't matter to me, and I don't think it would to anybody.
Yeah.
So.
And then for me, I think, again, it was sort of the getting used to sleeping with it on, because I sleep with my hand up. And so just sort of having to get used to having something there, I'd kind of just like, again, like you said, let the bracelet sort of settle down. And that's when I'd lay my hand down then at that point to go to sleep, as opposed to having it here. Because if I was having it here, it would, particularly on the sides, I'd feel it a little bit more, rather than if it just sort of naturally settled against the width of my skin that it matched. I will say the first couple of nights, like we had the bracelets, they are a piece of metal.
Yeah,
and we were in a hotel room where the air conditioning was running pretty full, so it was kind of chilly. And occasionally his metal band would like touch me on like my arm or my shoulder, and that would make me jump because it was a cold metal piece. Didn't jump from my own bracelet, but jumped from his a couple of times. And I don't think that I'd thought that part through, because I'd only been thinking about what I would experience wearing it, not what my partner would experience wearing it. Yep. So that was also something to get used to that I hadn't fully thought through.
I'm not particularly hairy. I'm not like, Sasquatch or anything, but I have like plenty of body hair. Whenever they put it on you originally, if you've got a decent amount of arm hair that's of any length, chances are it's going to get caught whenever they go to actually join the two arcs together to make the band. So just try to be patient with your essay. He's not trying to pull your hair, but it's going to happen.
Then I think that for me, what I sort of wasn't expecting was how many people who don't care 1 ounce about luxury, who don't follow luxury fashion, who don't know anything about it, complimented me on this bracelet. They weren't complimenting me because it was a love bracelet. They were complimenting me on it because it's just a really beautiful band on my wrist.
I do like it a lot more than I thought I would.
And it has been very interesting how many non-luxury people have complimented me on this, as well as people have noticed it in the luxury space as well. Recognize this as a really beautiful piece of jewelry. And I think that that just goes to speak to the timelessness of the bracelet.
And I think it is interesting how much people want to talk about them sometimes. And I also think it's more recognizable than people give it credit. Someone might not know that it's like the Cartier Love bracelet, but I don't know, they've done pretty good on marketing in that it's like not like in your face. There's no like, you know, billboard telling you what it is or anything, but it's been around long enough and like someone's seen it somewhere in your life, maybe, if you the kind of notice that kind of thing, that people might not know what it is, but they know of it in some way. And I like that it's a bit more of an understated, nice, just something that isn't just flashy in your face, because you know that's not really me, and I don't really think that's you either. Diamonds have their place, but for instance, to each their own. But for my part, I'm just not really comfortable wearing diamonds at all as a male of the species. There are definitely guys out there that can do it, pull it off great, but that's just not really for me. I like this a lot better, and it's something I can wear with you, which is a lot of fun. But I think people can glean, like, we think it was a good purchase for us.
Oh yeah.
I've liked it much more than I thought I would wearing it. It's on me all the time. I'm, you know, in PJs on the couch, we're watching some television show or what have you, and it's on, I'm petting the dogs, it's on, we're doing what have you, it's on. It's not come off since August. I'm not just like gazing at it like Gollum gazes at, you know, the ring or anything like that. But I like it much more than I thought I would. And I guess it really is because of the sappy, sentimental metaphor. I like that you're wearing it as well. I can look at it and think of you and sort of know you even if you're not around. And that's nice. I could talk about that for a long time. I won't.
Well, I think that that is everything that we can possibly say about a bracelet. And so with that, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Goodbye.